כל הנשמה תהלליה, כל הנשמה, כל נשמתי תהלליה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה. אוי תהלליה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה. 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos.
Welcome to Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center, and thank you so much for joining us today to celebrate Shabbat. This particular service is a part of an ongoing series that we're doing this month in experimenting with the idea that's given to us in the Psalms, Shiru L'Adonai Shir Hadash, sing to God a new song, or take the songs that you hold in your heart and try a different tune, sing with a different person, or just give it a different perspective. And so today's Shabbat morning service is going to be a bit different than what we've been doing in months prior, and even a bit different than what we've been doing in the last couple of weeks. Our intention today is to take some traditional words and some familiar tunes, and we're going to be a little selective. We're not going to check all the boxes on every single page, but we're going to take a few tunes and a few prayers and a few intentions and really take some time to dwell on them. There's going to be periods of guided meditation. There's going to be periods of silent meditation and intentions that Cantor Ruth is going to share with you. The Torah service is going to be quite a bit different than what you might be accustomed to, but we are going to learn from our Torah, learn from our prophets together. And I'll ask you to give it a try. I promise you that you will experience things that you've experienced before that are familiar, that make it Shabbos for you. And I ask you to open your heart to be surprised by things that you didn't know that you would like. And of course, as you've been doing throughout this month, please feel free to give us feedback. We've really enjoyed that people have taken the time to do that so far. We are going to begin in a familiar place, and that is Modeh Ani on page 61. Page 61.
Thank you for joining us this morning. We are grateful for being able to breathe. We are grateful for the gifts that we have given and for being able to pass them forward. Modani lefanecha. If you're on our Sidurim, we're on page 61. Modani lefanecha. Let's join together. Modani lefanecha. Modani lefanecha. Modani lefanecha. Melech Chai v'kayam. Modani lefanecha. Modani lefanecha. Modani lefanecha. Melech Chai v'kayam. שחזרת בי נשמתי. שחזרת בי נשמתי. בחמלה, בחמלה. רבה אמונתך. בחמלה, בחמלה. רבה אמונתך. מודעני לפניך. מודעני לפניך. מודעני לפניך. מלך חי וקיים. מודעני לפניך. מודעני לפניך. מודעני לפניך. מלך חי וקיים. שחזרת בי נשמתי. שחזרת בי נשמתי. בחמלה, בחמלה. רבה אמונתך. בחמלה, בחמלה. רבה אמונתך.
initiate our service with a psalm dedicated just for this purpose, the Psalm for Shabbat on page 72, page 72.
טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני. להגיד בבוקר חסדך. להגיד בבוקר חסדך. ואמונתך בלילות. ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני. להגיד בבוקר חסדך. להגיד בבוקר חסדך. ואמונתך בלילות. ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות Take a deep breath. Let it go. Perhaps take another one. The next few minutes are dedicated to us individually, not collectively. Just know that each one of us in this virtual presence will be interconnected, but we alone have our own space. I invite you to take a few moments, perhaps a little longer than a few moments. For some of you, silence is uncomfortable. For some of us, is new. Silence is the presence of the divine inviting us to be with ourselves. So I am encouraging you to open that door, to be with yourself, with the spark of the divine that lays here. If it is too uncomfortable, lean on the words of the tradition. You have many, many psalms and many, many words. From now in another, I would say, from page 72 to, I don't know, pick your psalm and read whatever you feel is comforting. But if you're able to, sit in silence, open your hands towards the heavens, seat yourself in a comfortable position, and simply breathe. I will come back and visit you in a few moments. take a deep breath and slowly start opening your eyes. Being grateful for having the opportunity to have time that we can dedicate to ourselves and to connect with God and with that essence of God that lives and dwells inside ourselves. We slowly come back to the togetherness of the virtual world. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני. להגיד בבוקר חסדך. להגיד בבוקר חסדך. ואמונתך בלילות. באמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני.
To paraphrase King Solomon in Sefer Kohelet in the book of Ecclesiastes, there's a time for silence and there's a time for singing. There's a time for sitting and there's a time for standing. This is a time for standing and for singing. So I'll ask you to help me kick off Psukei de Zimra, our passages of song that warm us up for prayer on page 83. Page 83, please rise.
ברוך שאמר והיה העולם. ברוך הוא עושה בראשית. ברוך אומר ועושה. ברוך עוזר ומקיים. ברוך מרחם על הארץ. ברוך מרחם על הבריות. ברוך שלם שכר טוב לרעב. ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח. ברוך פודה ומציל. ברוך שמו. ברוך פודה ומציל. ברוך שמו. ברוך אתה אדוני. my soul is still praising God. I don't know what to tell you.
So if you will, I'll ask you to please be seated, but that doesn't mean you get to be too quiet because, as Cantor was saying, soul still praising God, kol haneshama, like all of our soul, all of our breath. This is the intention behind a particular psalm that concludes Psukei de Zimra. We normally find it on page 100, but you may have heard us singing it here at the very beginning. This is maybe a different tune than you're used to, but we're going to go right to the end of that final psalm. It's about 3/4 of the way through page 100.
Kol haneshama tehalelia. Hallelujah. Let's join together. If you feel like standing, you may do so. If you feel like dancing, like moving your body, try to feel every part of your soul and how it wants to connect. Kol haneshama tehalelia, hallelujah. Oy, kol haneshama tehalelia, hallelujah.
Please join us on page 105, page 105.
Let's join together.
בפי ישרים תתהלל, תתהלל, ובבדי צדיקים תתברך, תתברך, שוכן עד מרום, וקדוש שמו, שוכן עד מרום, וקדוש שמו, ובלשון חסידים תתרומם, תתרומם, ובקרב קדושים תתקדש, תתקדש, together, שוכן עד מרום, וקדוש שמו, שוכן עד מרום, וקדוש שמו. Pick it up a little bit. ובמקלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל, ורינה יתפאר שמך בכל דור ודור, שוכן עד מרום, וקדוש שמו, שוכן עד מרום, וקדוש שמו.
I'll ask you to please rise with us for our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, on page 107, page 107. Please rise.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך,
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Leolam
Yotzeror Choshech Oseh Shalom Uvoret HaKol.
Our first blessing before the Shema is a blessing to God for giving us light, to distinguish between light and darkness, to illuminate our path. The second blessing before the Shema starts with Ahava Rabbah. This is the great love that God bestows upon us and teaches us to bestow upon one another. Ahava Rabbah is going to be, we're on page 1011, page 1011, but we're going to do it a little bit differently than we usually do.
So what I want you to focus on right now is on love. And I assume that all of us, one way or another, have had an opportunity to experience love. It started with mom and dad, or someone who nurtured us when we were very young. And as we grow through the stages of life, we experience different kinds of love. But there's one particular love that does not come from this world, and that represents eternal love, the love that we'll always have access to. This love is our connection with God. And the way we know about it is because we have Torah. And Torah is the recipe for how to live our lives that we carry, we take with us as Jews for generations and forever. This prayer, Ahava Rabbah, talks about God loving the people of Israel through the gift of Torah. Torah is this tangible symbol that we have access to. So, as we move on into this experiment of love this morning, I will sing Ahava Rabbah and you will repeat a few times. It's not very hard. I'm sure you'll be able to join me. Ahava Rabbah, Ahavtanu, those are the words. And then there's a little bit of English, much to my surprise. How deeply you have loved us. How deeply are we able to feel God's love? Let yourself lean on us as we embark in this journey. Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Ahavtanu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu. Let's try that again. Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Ahavtanu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu. Let's try that one more time. Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, together. Ahavtanu,
done, how deeply we have loved. Adonai Eloheinu, Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahavtanu,
Ahavtanu,
Ahavtanu. Together, Adonai Eloheinu, Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah, Ahavtanu, Ahavtanu, Ahavtanu,
Adonai Eloheinu.
Having blessed God for God's gift of light and the example of God's boundless love, we move into what is the core, I think, unifying principle of Judaism, which is represented by the first 6 words of the Shema on page 112. We're going to take our time with these 6 words, after which I want to share a reflection on the passages that follow. You shall love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all of your abundance. Some read this as a commandment. Another way to read it is a prophecy, a description of a future state that is inevitable if we have been paying attention to how God has redeemed us and revealed a guide to life for a free people to us. We cannot help but love with all our hearts. We cannot help but share this wisdom with our children, to declare it in public by writing it on our doorposts. This gift, however, is a part of a covenant. This is the essence of the second passage of the Shema. All the blessings are before us. The path of life may not always be clear, but it is always there. But it takes our cooperation. If we choose to follow that path, we can have blessings in abundance. Our lives will not be perfect. Our lives will not be easy. But if we refuse that path, we can almost guarantee that we will not have these blessings. But even though it's hard, we are not without help. The third passage of the Shema on page 113, where we describe just what seems like a very pedestrian mitzvah, a thing to do, a string to tie around your finger, or in our case, on the corners of our talitot. God's there to remind us every step of the way that the Torah and its mitzvot are there to distinguish our lives, to keep us from being distracted, so that we can walk this path of abundance, blessing, safety, hope, justice, and peace. And every once in a while, along this path, we get to celebrate, as our ancestors celebrated when they crossed the sea on dry land. That's why every Shabbat morning, indeed every morning if you pray every day, you have the opportunity to reprise the song at the sea, this dance of pure joy, where we say, "Who is like you, who has guided us through the sea, through the wilderness, and whatever lay ahead?" Mi Hamocha can be found on page 114.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך לדר בקודש נורא. תהילות אוסף שירה חדשה, שבחו גאורים לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Together. Yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, lay 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 lay, lay 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 lay, yalla lay lay yalla lay lay. צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ובדחינו ממך יהודה וישראל, גואלנו ונצבות שמו קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה, אדוני, גאל ישראל.
I'll ask you to rise for the Amidah on page 115b. We're going to do this one, as we've done earlier, with silence. You can lean on the words from the page. They are strong and will support you. Or take your time to pray your prayer of your heart this morning, and we'll get back together in just a bit.
שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו לעולם ועד. מודים אנחנו לך שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו לעולם ועד. צור חיינו מגן אישנו אתה הוא לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר תהילתך ונספר תהילתך.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for joining us at PJTC to celebrate Shabbat this morning and for joining us in a new kind of honesty through Jewish prayer, singing, and also some silence. As I learned from a great jazz musician, sometimes the very best notes are the rests, and I think Shabbat teaches us that every week. We're now going to have a Torah service in the sense that we are going to recognize the Torah as a guide in our life. We're going to open the Ark and take out the Torah scroll. We are going to learn some Torah together. I'm going to read a passage from this week's Parsha Matot Maseh, and I'm also going to read a selection from the Haftarah, and we'll do a little bit of learning together in between those readings. We will make time to say a prayer for the complete healing of body and soul for those who need it. We will bless the new month of Menachem Av that is coming soon, and then we'll return the Torah scroll to the Ark with honor. So if you'll please join me, we're going to start our Torah service on page 139.
אין כמוך באלוהים אדוני ואין כמעשיך מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך אדוני מלך אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אהבה רחמים היטיבה ברצונך את ציון. תבנה חומות ירושלים תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי לך לבד בטחנו מלך אל רם ונישא אדון עולמים.
Please rise as the Ark is open.
ויהי מנשוא אהרון ויאמר משה קומה אדוני ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו משנאיך מפניך. כי מציון תצא תורה
Zion Tetzeh Torah Udevar Adonai Mirushalayim Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'Kedushato.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
גדלו לאדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו. רוממו לאלוהינו והשתחוו, לאדום רגליו קדוש הוא. רוממו אנו לאלוהינו והשתחוו, להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
The Torah is down and the ark is closed. You may be seated. As I said today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to read from the Torah and also from the Haftarah, and we're going to do a little bit of learning in between and around these passages. First, it is appropriate to say together a blessing for God for distinguishing our lives with God's mitzvot, with God's commandments, particularly the mitzvah of engaging in Torah learning together. And it goes like this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. I'll begin with a passage from the Torah. If you have one of these big red books at home, we are on page 954, and we'll be reading from Bamidbar. This is the last parsha of Bamidbar. We're in chapter 33, verses 1 through 4. Ele Maseh b'nei Yisrael, asher yatzu me'eretz Mitzrayim letzivotam b'yad Moshe v'Aharon. V'yiktov Moshe et motzaihem lemasehem al pi Adonai, ve'ele masehem lemotzaitem. Vayisu meramses b'chodesh harishon, b'chamisha asar yom lachodesh harishon. Mimacharat haPesach yatzu b'nei Yisrael b'yad Ramah le'enei kol Mitzrayim. Umitzrayim mikabrim et asher hika Adonai behem kol bechor. Uvelohehem asa Adonai shvatim. These were the marches of the Israelites who started out from the land of Egypt. troop by troop, in the charge of Moses and Aaron. Moses recorded the starting points of their various marches as directed by God. Their marches by starting points were as follows, and this is the beginning of them. They set out from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month, that was Passover. It was on the morrow of the Passover offering that the Israelites started out defiantly in plain view of all the Egyptians. The Egyptians, meanwhile, were burying those among them whom God had struck down, every firstborn, whereby God executed judgment on their gods. As I shared last night, even though we have a whole book to go, we are effectively at the narrative end of the Torah. All of the action that is actiony has stopped, and now we are having a bit of a reprise, a travelogue, if you will, of our journey through the wilderness, which will be followed next week by the beginning of Devarim, Moses' swan song, Moses' final speech to us before we go on to the promised land without him. Every good hero has a great origin story, and this is ours. We can't talk about any journey without honoring its beginning. And what the sages point out about this, it seems just like a point on the calendar. It was the 15th day of the first month, the month of Nisan, that we set out. But it makes a point to say not just that we set out on this day, but we set out le'enei kol Mitzrayim, in plain view of all the Egyptians who were meanwhile burying their dead. We did not leave at night. We did not leave in secret, but we left in public with pride. I assume it's no news to you that the coming high holidays will be different. First, I just want to stop and thank everybody who took the time to answer all the many surveys that we've been sending out, not only about how this service experiment is going, but especially those who opened their hearts to us about where you're at regarding getting back together in person, whether in this sanctuary, whether in an open space, or whether this year you feel most comfortable, most safe joining us from home as you are now. And I promise you that early in the coming week, you will hear about decisions that are being made about the High Holy Days and what to expect for the season. What I can tell you for sure is, as I've said, it will be different from any high holidays you have ever experienced, different from any high holidays I have ever experienced. And one thing for certain is that everything we do will be visible and available online for anyone who wants to access the service that way. Now, I want to notice something very important. This may feel like a hack. This may feel like a workaround. This is, to paraphrase one of my old bosses, this may feel like we're taking chicken scratch and making chicken salad. This may feel like we're doing the best we can in a bad situation. And God willing, everything will be back to normal next year. But I want you to imagine what it means that in the coming year, dozens, if not hundreds, of congregations will be celebrating the Yamim Noraim, will be celebrating Rosh Hashanah, will be celebrating Yom Kippur in public, in a way that everyone can see. Where once we gathered within walls, often by the vicissitudes of the world around us, with high security. In some places in the world and in some time in our history, in total secret, we had to celebrate our holiest days. This year, we're doing it in public for all to see, for all to access who need that access, and for all who don't know who we are to see who we are, what we love, and what our highest purpose is. Imagine the significance of tens of thousands, if not millions, of Jews connecting to the Holy One and to each other in broad daylight. There are those within our community, and I mean the broader Jewish community, who for very good reasons would say, how dare we? How dare we cast aside hundreds of years of tradition in how we gather, to do it all on some fancy computer or the TV like televangelists? Why don't we just sit this one out? It'll be fine next year. My answer, inspired by people in this community, people who've shared their hearts with us, people who are leading the way forward, is how dare we not? Do we need high holidays less this year? I think we need to gather. I think we need to mourn what we have lost. I think we need to look deep inside and weigh what we value most. And I think we need to gather, not just with our eyeballs, not just with our Wi-Fi connections. We need to internally gather the strength for the year to come. But still, you may ask, even if it's necessary work, who are we? What chutzpah? Who are we to make such a significant change? My answer is that we are Jews. I'm going to share with you a bit of this week's Haftarah. If you want to follow along, we're in the Chumash on page 973. We're reading from Yirmiyahu, the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 2, verses 4 through 8. Shimu Devar Adonai, hear the word of God, Beit Yaakov, V'cho mishpachot Beit Yisrael, and the whole family of our people. Ko amar Adonai, Mamatzu Avotehem bi'avel, ki rachaku me'alai, ve'yelchu acharei ha'hevel, ve'hebalu, ve'lo amru, Aye Adonai, המעלה אותנו מארץ מצרים, והמוליך אותנו במדבר, בארץ ערבה ושוחה, בארץ צייה וצל מוות, בארץ לא עבר בה איש, ולא ישב אדם שם. והביאו אתכם אל ארץ הכרמל, לאכול פריה וטובה, ותבואו ותמו את ארצי, ונחלתי שמתם לתועבה. הכהנים לא אמרו איה אדוני, ותופסי התורה לא ידוני, והרועים פשע בי, והנביאים ניבאו ובעל, ואחרי לא יועילו הלכו. Hear the word of God, O house of Jacob, every family of the house of Israel. Thus says the Lord. What wrong did your fathers find in me that they abandoned me and went after delusion and were deluded? They never asked themselves, where is God who brought us from the land of Egypt, who led us through the wilderness, a land of desert and pits, of drought and darkness, a land no person had traversed, where no human had yet dwelt. I brought you to this country of farmland to enjoy its fruit and its goodness, but you came and you defiled my land. You made my possession abhorrent. The priests never asked themselves, where is God? The guardians of the Torah ignored me. The rulers rebelled against me. The prophets prophesied by Baal and followed what can do no good. This is the second haftarah of rebuke or admonition, the second of three that we read leading up to the time of Tisha B'Av, a holy occasion where we remember essentially all of the most horrible stuff that has ever happened to us, including the destruction of our two temples. And again, our prophets are not prophets because they are fortune tellers. Our prophets are our prophets because they are logical students of justice, and they know when we follow the wrong ideals, danger befalls us, and we lose our blessing. Where is God? That's the right question. They were asking the question, how do we keep the temple walls up? How do we keep the tithes coming in? Are we reading Torah correctly? Are we giving out honors correctly? Are our leaders asking, how do I stay in power? And not the question, where is God? Jeremiah is cautioning us to ask better questions. We face this season concerned. How do we maintain and sustain our community if we can't do what we always do? Let us ask instead, where is God? Is God in a building? Or is God in the synapse between Jew and God, between all who are part of a Jewish family? and that family. We will not worship walls. We will not idolize songs. We are guided by our tradition. It has held us up pretty well for a long time. But with those notes, this year, by necessity, we will sing a new song. And if we can connect the Jewish family and all who walk with it to God, if we can connect one person to another, and if we can do it in public, we will have done a great service to our community, to the Jewish world, and to the world at large. I just want to conclude by saying, I thought last year was the best high holidays I would ever experience. But I think I may be wrong. I hope you will join us in proving that. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for celebrating with us here at Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. I want to take a moment to pray for the healing of body and soul of all those who need it. In the coming week, we are praying for the health of Sarah Bat Abraham, Diana Ahmed, Elka Brana Bat Chaim, Randy Berger, Lynn Browdy, Jeff Kane, Mordechai Ben Shire, Philip Benjamin, Hava Ben Zvi, Dana Boughton, Andrea Casper, Marvin Eileen Donner, Claire Feldman, Elaine Elka Gaynor, Rabbi Amy Gerasi, Liz Green, Michael Hochstein, Michael Caden, Rabbi Gil Collin, Howard Landau, Jennifer Leonard, Rosalind LeBeau, Charlotte Mann, Niece Mills, Norman Oster and Ann Oster, Sheila Padlipsky, Jennifer Pecor, Paulette Pistol, Emily Premack, Christopher Randazzo, Carol Rasmussen, Judy Rogers, Yisrael Abraham ben Rivka Asher, Karen Sampson, Bob Schwartz, Alicia Spicer, Pink Selkin, Matt Sofair, Ellis Seligman, Melissa Wassam, Lori Wright, and Rosa Tregars. If there's another name that you'd like to lift up for healing, please hold their name in your heart or say it out loud wherever you are. And we will pray for their healing with this song.
Let's join together.
Mi severa avoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shevera imoteinu mikor habracha leavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
May the Holy One who blessed our ancestors bless all those who are in need of healing with complete healing of body and of spirit, and give strength and wisdom and comfort to those who care for them. And let us say Amen. We will now be saying a blessing in the acknowledgement of the new month of Av. You'll notice that in the blessing we don't call it Av, we call it Menachem Av, which is it's to give us a little bit of comfort in this time where we're remembering the less comfortable.
If you're following on the prayer book, Sim Shalom, We are on page 150, 150.
יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו ואמותינו, שתחדש עלינו את החודש הזה לטובה ולברכה, שתחדש עלינו את החודש הזה לטובה ולברכה, ותיתן לנו חיים ארוכים, חיים של שלום, חיים של טובה, חיים של ברכה, חיים של פרנסה, חיים של חילוץ עצמות, חיים שיש בהם יראת שמיים ויראת חטא, חיים שאין בהם בושה וכלימה, חיים של אושר וכבוד, חיים שתבנו אהבת תורה ויראת שמיים, חיים שימלאו משאלות, משאלות ליבנו, ליבנו לטובה, שימלאו משאלות, משאלות ליבנו, ליבנו לטובה. אמן סלה. מי שעשה ניסים לאבותינו וגאל אותנו מעבדות לחירות, הוא יגאל אותנו בקרוב ויקבץ נידחינו מערבה כרפות הארץ. חברים כל ישראל ונאמר
אמן.
ראש חודש מנחם אב יהיה ביום רביעי הבא עלינו ועל כל ישראל לטובה.
The new month of Av will begin on Wednesday night and into Thursday.
יחדשהו הקדוש ברוך הוא עלינו ועל כל עמו בית ישראל לחיים ולשלום,
Amen.
לששון ולשמחה,
Amen.
לישועה ולנחמה, ונאמר
Amen. Please remain standing as we replace the Torah in the Aron Kodesh. And join us on page 154, or 153.
יעללו את שם אדוני כי נשגב שמו לבדו. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה בתוכחה
מאושר דרכיך, דרכי נועם, ונתיבותיך שלום. השיבנו אדוני לך ונשובה, חדש ימינו The ark is closed. You may be seated. I'm going to take just another moment for meditation before we go our separate ways today. In honor of Musaf, which is intended, the Amidah has always been one of those moments, as the cantor said earlier, where we, let's say, take our mind off the collective and focus inward. If you prefer to stand and pray the Amidah, you can find it on page 155b, or you can lean into whatever is most urgent in your heart right now to share with the Holy One. Take a few deep breaths, and we'll get back together in just a little while. In the words of the prophet Jeremiah, to find the right path, you have to be willing to set aside vanity, to set aside that which is a distraction, that which is a waste, that which is an idol. God has done a lot of things for us, but this is our responsibility. It's on us. Aleinu. Please rise and join us in Aleinu on page 183.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא שמות השמיים ויוסר עצמו כשם. על כן נקווה לך אולי אלוהינו יראת מרב תפארת וזכר. כי המלכות שלך היא, ולעולם היא תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב את תורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, וחי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. This is a time in our service where we pause to remember those who are no longer with us. In the coming week, we at PJTC are honoring the yahrzeit and the anniversary of the passing of Gregory Fry, Tzvi Barheim, Edward Solomon, Martin Spellman, Rose Altschula, Bess Pemstein, Grace Calderon, Sam Phillips, Valley Lowenberg, Juanita Erlene, Murray Wesson, Neil Handler, Fritzie Lerner, J. David Hoffman, Janice Lipton, Ruth Kaplan, Julian Snyder, Harry Coase, David Kristen, Bernice Feldstein, Louis Whitkin, Howard Lassman, Greta Winter, Philip Carr, Anna Friedenberg, Gertrude Budnitsky, and Goldie Ida Gordon. If there's another name that you would like to lift up in honor at this time, once again, please hold that name in your heart or say their name out loud wherever you are. And if you're in mourning or observing a yahrzeit today, please rise for the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish on page 184. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach leolam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei Dekudsha, Brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chaim aleinu, V'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu, V'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. If you're standing, you may be seated. We have just a few brief but delightful announcements that are around here somewhere. So just so you know, probably most urgently, we'd love you to stick around for Kiddush. If you want to get your own challah and wine or wine-like beverage wherever you are, please bring that to the party when we celebrate Kiddush right after this service. A little bit later, at 12:45 p.m., there is a meditation group with Rabbi Lisa Goldstein, and there are other meditation sessions throughout the week through PGTC. There's a Tuesday morning group at 8:40 a.m. and a Wednesday morning group at 8 a.m. May be the same group, but they meet 2 times. We will be continuing our Ask Me Anything sessions. You can literally ask me anything live, online, and I will answer you. And some people have asked me just about anything, I'll say. who is God? Where do we go after we die? So if I say anything, I have to answer it. Those are Thursdays at 3 p.m., and that's on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, our PJTC channels, and also on Twitch with our PJTC channel there. This coming Thursday, we have another social hall in our series. This is where people get together to share some learning, but also just see each other's faces. And this week's social hall features Stacy Ober, who is the owner of Union Street Sandwich, who says, "COVID is making me cook." Stacy will be sharing some tips and leading a discussion so we can share stories of our own, wonderful successes, and epic failures. You should always do that with other people around to support you. That's going to be this Thursday, the 23rd, at 7:30 p.m. So once again, I want to thank everyone who has been joining us, but also especially those who have been letting us know how this month of Shira Chadashah, how this month of new songs has been going. Please continue to give us that feedback. It is invaluable. And I want to make sure that you pay attention this week to your emails, not just because that's where all the Zoom links are, but we will be sharing some decisions about the High Holy Days and what that's going to look like. So pay attention and ask us what questions you have. Most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you for joining us from wherever you are today. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to end as we began, and that is in song. So stretch your legs a little bit, stand up if you will, and join us as we sing our way out before Kiddush.
Kol haneshama tehallel. Every beat of my soul will praise God. Kol haneshama tehallel, hallelujah. Kol haneshama tehallel, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos.
Why don't we join together? ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. על כן ברכוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו סברי רבנם רבותי.
לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen. Those who wish to wash, wash as you wish. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim.
Amen. And last but not least, together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. We'll see you next week.